everyone, Janie here, and if you watched yesterday's video, which was Butterfly Cards Part 1, you saw me make these two cards. And today in Butterfly Cards Part 2, I'm going to make two more cards using a different cutting die set, and this is what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to be using this beautiful butterfly and grid pattern background cutting die set from InLoveArts. And not only does it have the background grid, but it has an additional little butterfly. And I will also be using some scraps from one of my favorite paper pads that I've had for years. And if you didn't know it already, I am a scrap hoarder, so I am thrilled to be able to use some of these scraps on the cards that I'm making today. And I'm also going to be using some of this beautiful Recollections foil cardstock. So of course, the first thing I need to do is a little die cutting with my Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus so that you can see how beautifully this die cuts through that foil cardstock. And since I'm a scrap hoarder, all of those little pieces are not going to go to waste because I can always die cut smaller things from those. The card bases I'm using are from Recollections, and they happen to be 4 inches by 5.5 inches. And so this is approximately 4 by 5.5, but it's actually a little bit smaller, so I did have to do a little trimming to make it all fit. And so for this card, I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera. I'm just going to adhere that and then adhere that over the top and do a little embellishing. So here's my finished card. And all I did was die cut this butterfly grid and glue it on over the top of a piece of scrapbook paper. And then this butterfly right here, it's the same as that one right there. I cut that out of one of the scraps of the same paper. And that way they matched, and there were 3 butterflies because I like that look better. And I used what is called a shimmer brush on those, which is, I think, the same as Wink of Stella. And so it adds some shimmer, glittery sparkle. And I did the same thing to this one right here in the center. And I'd ink the edges with some distress ink. I forgot the color of it, but some color of lavender. And then I added these lavender little gems in the center of the butterflies. And this was really easy to do, and I just love the way it looks. I think it is so pretty. I love the foil cardstock. It just adds something special to it. But this was really easy to do, and I really love it. I think it's really pretty. So for one of the cards, I want to cut multiple layers of this and adhere them together to create some dimension for the card. But what I'm going to do is I am going to glue 2 pieces together at a time and then cut them out at the same time. And as most of you know, when I want full coverage, because you do need full coverage to do this, I actually prefer using a spray adhesive. But keeping in mind that not all of my viewers have spray adhesive or want to use it, you can also use a glue stick. And so that's what I'm going to be using this time so that you can see that this works as well. Okay, I am just going to put glue stick all over the back of this. And the reason it needs full coverage, if you haven't already figured that out, is because you don't want there to be loose pieces where the die cuts. You want everything to be, connected. Okay? So, we've got that on there, and now I'm just going to line this up with the back of that. And and it is now ready to go through the die cutting machine. And I'm going to do the same thing with 2 more pieces, and then I can glue those all together. You'll see. So I'll be right back. And now we can start die cutting. And because I'm cutting through 2 layers at once, the layer of foil cardstock and a layer of 110-pound white cardstock, I'm putting it through my die cutting machine twice. And I'm quite impressed with how beautifully it cut completely. And just like with leftover pieces from the last card, these pieces aren't going to go to waste either. Okay, so these are each 2 layers thick and they cut beautifully. And so what I'm going to do now is use my Beacon 3-in-1 and glue these 2 together, creating even more dimension. And I'm going to do that off camera because it's going to take a while for me to get everything precise because I'm kind of weird that way. But I will be back once those are glued together. Well, I decided to show me gluing them together, but I did speed it up quite a bit. But I thought you might like to see that process. And here it is, and it is really sturdy, and it's going to provide the dimension that I am looking for. Okay. Now for the next 40 seconds, I am going to completely bore you while I cut my scraps, but I thought I would show you how I did it to get the pieces that I needed. So I am truly a scrap hoarder, and me and some of my friends used to do scrap hoarder videos that were pretty fun. And cutting dies like this make it easy to use your scraps. Next weekend, I plan on making cards using a couple more cutting dies that are perfect for using your scraps, so I hope you come back then for some more ideas. And by the way, if you didn't know this, InLoveArts has so many awesome dies besides the ones that you see me use in my videos. For this card, I've already glued this piece on, and you can kind of see the dimension. You can definitely feel it and see it in person. And for this one, I'm actually going to let you watch me glue in the pieces. It's really awesome because with this grid part raised up, you know, with the dimension, you can actually hear these pieces snap in. So it's really cool. So let me get started on that. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but I thought I'd give it a try. And while I'm finishing putting the pieces in, I'm going to put on a little music for your listening pleasure. And here's my finished card, and you got to see pretty much most of the process in making this, so I don't need to explain that to you. And if you are a scrap hoarder like I am, this is the perfect opportunity to use those scraps and create something beautiful. And I really, love how this turned out. And the little butterfly here that, of course comes with this set, I used the shimmer brush on that to give it kind of that glittery shimmer to it, and added some little gems here in the center. They're kind of clear with gold glitter in them, I think. But I just think this is so beautiful, and I love the dimension here of the layers for the grid. And then this right here, the Thankful, this is also from InLoveArts, and I've used it before in another video, but it comes with the two pieces. So you have the word thankful that you could use by itself if you wanted to, and you have the shadow that goes behind it. And so I really love it. It's actually one of my favorite dies, and I have a lot to be thankful for. So I thought it was perfect on this card. But there you go. This is this card finished. I'm not sure which one I like best, but I think I like this one best. And I would love for you to leave me a comment and let me know which one you like best and what you think of this butterfly die set. Okay, before I bring this video to an end, I had promised that I was saving the best for last. And in my opinion, these are the best. So let me show you. This is the first card, and I really wanted you to see an elegant version of a card made with that same cutting die set from InLoveArts. And so for the butterfly grid and the doily that you see behind there, I die cut both of those with Recollections shimmer cardstock in the white gold. And then the paper that's behind it is from an old paper pad that I've had for maybe 7 or 8 years. And so I'm not sure it's available anymore. In fact, to be honest with you, nothing on here is available anymore except for that butterfly grid cutting die from InLoveArts, because basically I'm using stuff from my stash that I've had for years, and I think you should also use, you know, things from your stash. I like to encourage that because I think we all have a lot of things that we don't use. We get them because we want them and then we forget. So I added some really pretty, they're pale pink glitter gems, and I did that on the butterfly as well. And then I couldn't find my pearls, but I don't know what to call these things, but they're not pearls, but I thought they were a great addition hanging out from below the butterfly. So they're attached underneath the butterfly, and the butterfly is die cut from a pink glitter paper. But I just thought this was beautiful. It's not quite shabby chic, but it is definitely pink and white and elegant. And I love how it turned out. Now for card number 2. I made a shaker card because I should have shown you how to do this in the video, which I didn't, but I will put a link to how to make a shaker pocket, and I will link that probably right here on the screen or on the screen as the video is ending, so watch for it. And I added a little ballerina, and again, everything on here is no longer available, even though they were from InLoveArts. It was from years ago. And so I used the same paper pad behind there. I used the same shimmer paper for the die cutting. I added some pink gems on the butterfly and right there on the ballerina. And I love shaker cards, and I just thought that this butterfly grid cutting die set is so perfect for shaker cards. So I had to share that with you. So those are the 2 cards that I think are the best, and I saved them for last. What do you think? Here are some close-up pictures, and if you like that InLoveArts Butterfly and Grid Pattern Background Cutting Die set or the Thankful Cutting Die set, there will be links to both of those below in the description box, as well as a 25% off discount code to InLoveArts should you decide to shop there. Also, before I go, I would love to know if you are a scrap hoarder like me. So leave me a comment below and let me know. Thank you all so much for stopping by, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.